Jessica Chastain doesn't have a lot of other friends in Hollywood or with moviegoers. Black Adam will be going up against Hawkman. You know, the DC Hawk that doesn't have as many fans as Hawkgirl. The role that even I admit Jessica Chastain was born to play. She's naturally angry, in a bad mood, and has the red hair. I honestly feel she would kill it in that role. There's a rumor that she's as unlikable in person in Hollywood as she is on the big screen as she comes across. But that said, she did a good job as a villain. I think it lines up with her actual personality. She was the only one who couldn't sit properly on her stool and was just awkwardly leaning against it. Now, I'm sympathetic, of course, to the women's fashion versus men fashion. All of us women have to go through it. But it's not like this was a surprise that they were going to sit on stools. Conan had the exact same setup last year. Sophia Lillis is like the antithesis of Jessica Chastain. She comes across as warm and kind and doesn't have a huge ego. A lot of people don't like Jessica Chastain. Just take a look at her box office numbers. Something that people in Hollywood should consider when considering casting her. But she had a supporting role in Interstellar, right? She managed not to derail that. Although it was one of Christopher Nolan, significantly underperformed from Inception. So, You guys seem to be pretty split down the middle as to how you feel about Jessica Chastain. And you know what? I think she's going to convert more of you every day to the drag her side because she just can't help herself. I'm convinced that she's going to make this she's going to be a huge wet blanket over this whole proceeding, as evidenced by her reaction to this latest casting news. So you can see her tweet here about James McAvoy, and she called him a stalker, #stalker. Not funny, Chastain. Come to think of it, Jessica Chastain was shut out of actress. So why don't I like Jessica Chastain? Well, I think she's an extremist. She's extremely political. For instance, she was at Cannes as one of the jury members, and Will Smith was overshadowing everyone. And instead of Jessica Chastain being like, maybe I should be more fun and pleasant like Will Smith, she decided to be like, oh, I know how to get attention. The way women are depicted in movies clearly sucks based on the slate here at Cannes. And she had like a really bad, sour look on her face. She wasn't even inspiring in her complaints. So that's kind of like Jessica Chastain in a nutshell. And some people like to say, they're like, what did Jessica Chastain ever do to you? She didn't do anything to me. I've never met Jessica Chastain. I just have a problem, as I said, that I feel like she's never met a bandwagon she didn't want to jump on. And also, I mean, I think it's funny that lately she's been doing some tweets and you guys will tweet her or retweet it to me and be like, Grace Randolph was right. And I'm like, so I don't do it as much anymore because, I've made my point. And I also feel at this point, the point makes itself.